Defeat their Eastern Conference rival going into this one. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. Alongside Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan, the fourth member of our crew. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. The Nets will look to their home court advantage, just one game here in Brooklyn. Well, they know they have their work cut out for them here tonight and during a stretch of games facing a lot of talented teams.
And it's in your DNA. You come up against a natural rival, you're going to be a little bit salty.
Yeah, some of the fellas will say, this is just like any other game, but the truth is, nah, it isn't.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So for Chicago right now, Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. The Magician out there with Markkanen, and it's Valentine in at the 3 spot. Well, the NBA has some great advanced scouts who know how to help a team prepare for an opponent. When you played, Chris, what kind of information would you be given with a team that was coming up on the schedule or the game that night that was important for you?
Well, wow, my rookie year, I remember the first time I got a scouting, the playoff scouting report, and I had to understand how many times the player I was playing against would shoot over his right shoulder as opposed to his left shoulder, and the percentage of the times he liked it on the left box as opposed to the right box, and really just knowing the guys and understanding their habits. And so you really need that. It gives you confidence because, as I said, you can't check one player. It's just so hard to do. So what do you have to do? You have to check their tendencies, so maybe you can beat him to the spot that he likes before he can, because if he gets there, he's just going to destroy you. Scouting reports are everything to understand your opponent and your opposing team.
Did you keep, Chris, a mental notebook, or would you have a notebook that you would write in to keep track of these players, the guys you would face?
I had a mental notebook. The teams would give us physical notebooks, but I would just kind of read them and make my mental notes. You get to see guys so often that if you don't kind of understand who a player is that night before you play him, it might be too late. The Bulls have been very active in revamping this roster. A lot of trades and player movement. They were worried of becoming a treadmill team.
Fast break, here they come. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
So many fast breaks now ending the three-point shot. Good to see them taking it to the rack.
Easy misses. The Bulls have gotten all 5 of their shots to go down in the first quarter. Terrific start. The Magician banked in off the glass. The Magician's got 14 points.
Wow, what a sensational quarter from him. And as long as they have this lead, I'd keep going to him again and again and again and again.
And that's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the Nets.
And they were focused on spreading the floor and getting good looks from three-point range. That was the key to their offense. They put in a lot of work on the perimeter.
Now, here is Russell. He's coming off a 19-point game against Charlotte.
And he also drew a lot of fouls, forcing the defense to react to his aggressive style of play.
Now the Bulls with it. They're on a 14-6 run. Back to Levine. Another 3 for Chicago.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Nets trail by 11. Here's LeVert. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. No problems knocking that one down. 16 points for the Magician.
He is dominating this quarter. He sees a soft spot in the D, and he's attacking it.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
And this, the first of 3 games these two teams will play against one another this season.
And the Nets making a change here. Lynn's checked in. Well, always interesting to check out the first-year stars of the NBA, and on that list are the rookies who have been almost automatic from the field this past month. And you look at the Magician, leading the league in field goal percentage. He always gets good looks.
And his confidence is going to keep growing if he continues shooting like he has over the past month.
That one, no good. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role. And that night, it was about scoring.
Well, on the road, you need as many contributors as you can find. The reserves definitely helped fuel the win that time.
And you'll hear some say the sleeper of that 2015 draft was Rondé Hollis Jefferson. I mean, a fractured ankle his rookie season limited him to just those 29 games. But when healthy, he's shown he can be a force defensively.
The Bulls leading by 10. Here's the Magician. Another three for Chicago.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Yeah, particularly on offense, where they've been completely in sync. Terrific first quarter.
Here's AC. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Charlotte. And Greg, what separates Hollis Jefferson, do you think, as an NBA defender?
Physicality, quickness to go along with anticipation. I mean, with his pressure D, he's able to suffocate perimeter players and rack up steals. And don't forget versatility. He's a guy that can guard multiple positions, and that's a huge asset for any team.
Chicago's gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points rung up from outside here in the first. The shot's good from the Magician.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And it's happening at both ends, trying to end this thing before it begins.
Passes to Valentine, and the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. There's 14 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And the Nets miss again. Here's the Magician. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And guys, this is the blueprint for winning on the road. How about the level of focus on each and every possession?
They've come in with a great overall strategy, the right attitude, and the scoreboard reflects that.
To stop the run, connects, the jumper drops. Hollis Jefferson's got his second bucket tonight, and so it's the Chicago Bulls with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. Back right after this. And we caught up with DJ to ask him about his feelings about the Rookie of the Year award.
I wouldn't say that that's necessarily something that I'm striving for. I think my main focus is to help the team win games and to become the best player that I could be. If winning Rookie of the Year is in the cards for me, then great. But I really hope that it's just an appetizer to bigger and better success for the team.
And as nice as the Rookie of the Year award would be, DJ has much bigger aspirations.
And it would be a great story for DJ to win that award without taking that traditional route to the NBA. But fans of his team have to be happy. I mean, he views this as just the beginning.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a comfortable margin for the Bulls here, guys.
I mean, a huge lead, and already after this first quarter, they're starting to make it look easy.
I love it. They have their track shoes on. Right off the tip, they were in full attack mode. This offense is really churning.
Taking a look at the Bulls, Grant is out there with Wells. Then there's Valentine. Then it's the Magician, and it's Portis in at the 4 slot. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, the Magician in that last matchup against the Timberwolves was terrific. He ended up with 50 points and did his thing on the defensive end with a number of steals. His numbers were off the charts. He was unguardable, and he knew it, and he took advantage of it. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you, guys. Could you believe that performance? Wow.
I mean, it was really something to see. I mean, he showed everybody just how special he is when he is on his game.
Yeah, once he got them on the ropes, he never let them off the hook. It was full speed energy basketball at its greatest.
LeVert's checked in for the Nets. And Chris, you had to deal with different injuries during your playing career. Some guys get bit by the injury bug and some others avoid it their whole career. Do you think that staying healthy, Chris, is a skill or is it just luck of the draw?
Man, that's a great question, Kevin. I really can't answer that. When you look at a guy like Jordan and seeing him only hurt his ankle one time, or
right.
You know, I do think when you take care of your body and you prepare, that you can definitely stave off injuries. But at the same time, I think it's the luck of the draw. If you were a guy like myself and you're rebounding in the paint and there are a lot of feet under you, you're gonna come down on someone's ankle and twist your ankle. We've seen a lot of non-physical injuries, a lot of injuries that just seem to happen out of nowhere. When you look at George's injury with the Olympics that time, or you look at a guy like Steph Curry with his ankle injuries that he had back in the day. So I really can't answer that. That's a great question. It's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? But I would just say this, no matter how hard you work, it takes a little bit of luck to be successful. I think we all would say that. So I would lean on more so the side of luck than necessarily being prepared and not having an injury.
Good answer.
And that pattern continues, guys. Another heat check, another log on the fire.
Oh, I know this feeling. They're in that special zone where you feel untouchable. They haven't missed in a while.
And it's denied. Here's the Magician. And it goes down 2 points. The Magician's got 45 points.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Got a piece of it. Valentine with it. He had 10 points in the win against Minnesota. The shot's good from the Magician.
Look, he's driven him to this lead, and it doesn't look like he's going to ease up until the final whistle.
And, of course, for the Nets, I mean, they won't control their own first-round pick until 2019. There's going to be some losing along the way with not much reward.
That one good for 2.
This score will be very different without his offense. He's been terrific.
Lynn kicks to Okafor. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Dinwiddie dishes to Lynn. Out to the right wing. Shot clock at 5. Here's LeVert, and the Nets miss again.
And they just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Yeah, trying to recapture momentum. When the tide's running against you, very difficult to do. What do the young kids say today? Ride that wave.
Here's Okafor after the made shot from the Magician. The 3 drains the three-pointer. The Magician's got 54 points.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
I mean, they just look totally disengaged out there. Seems like they've given up on this one.
Quincy Acies checked in for Brooklyn. Justin Holiday's checked in for Chicago. And he makes that one. 56 points for the Magician.
He hasn't missed so far this quarter, and you can see why. His form is perfect, and he's taking high percentage shots.
Here's AC. He's got 6 to end the drought, and Allen puts it in.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
I tell you what, it's like football, having a 3rd and 13 and then running up the gut. It just frustrates the defense. You have to hate giving up second chance points. It's demoralizing. After basically, I mean, you had to stop.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. And the Nets adding their own G League affiliate, the Long Island Nets.
Yeah, and the Nets franchise originally, remember, based in Long Island. So nice to have that homecoming. And, of course, with young talent development, so critical for this Nets organization. Having that minor league team in close proximity, very valuable.
Here's the Magician. Pulls up. And the jumper is on the mark.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Yeah, of the two teams, they're taking the more makeable.
Thank you, Kevin. Now your scoring has been big in the first half, but also rebounding has been huge. What's allowed you to have such an impact?
You know, I think everyone on the floor has just been doing a great job of boxing out and finishing defensive stops. The ball just happens to be bouncing my way, so, you know, I get credit for the rebound, but as a team, I'm really happy with the way we're bodying up.
Well, you guys are all doing it together. Thank you. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. A fantastic game from the Magician in this one.
Yeah, I mean, he really gave them a boost in that first half. Shot way above his average.
Oh, this is like found money, completely unexpected, but it feels great when it happens.
Russell and LeVert in the backcourt. Quincy Acy out there with Hollis Jefferson. And it's Lopez in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. And there's the pass to Hollis Jefferson. He tries for three. Acy's shot is good. Acy's got 9.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
And I love it, Greg. Both sides inflicting damage from the perimeter. We'll see how the defense is adjusting.
Knocks down the 3 ball.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Now, here is Russell, guarded closely. Lopez, no luck.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
I'd love to hear his explanation. The coach right there, I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
Lopez sets a screen for Russell. Here's Hollis Jefferson, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Here's LeVert over Valentine, and it's LeVert missing, and it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way. And we take a look here at the shot chart for the Bulls.
And the way they have been shooting from deep, boy, that's been impressive. Talk about making the most of your opportunities. This game would look very different if they weren't dialed in from deep. As it stands, however, they are in control, and the defense has to adjust to how they defend beyond the arc.
Chris, sometimes when a player is feeling it, in that rhythm, in that groove, there's nothing you can do to slow him down. Is there a player in the league right now who you feel is the deadliest when things are really falling right for him?
I mean, James Harden. How about this guy? Now that he's getting other guys involved, he's so much harder to guard because you don't know if he's going to pass it, ending up in a successful assist, or if he's just going to knock it down in your face. And his range is just so incredible. You do not want to let that man get hot. Also, of course, we know Curry. You better not let him get hot because he'll do some incredible things. And then his teammate, his boy, his partner, Klay Thompson. I mean, just the way that these guys shoot is just so fun to watch. So, I mean, these guys, when you talk about deadly from anywhere, anytime, you got to guard these guys like they used to say when they get in the parking lot. Not when they get in the arena. You better start guarding them in the parking lot because they can score at any time.
Lopez with the ball. Now guarded by the Magician. And so the ball goes out of bounds. Lopez touched it last.
And taking a look at some of the stats here for LaVine, how his last 10 games have gone. Getting around 12 points a game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. With him, you get so much, but his ability to lead the way with his scoring, probably his best attribute.
An offensive juggernaut. I mean, he can just beat you in so many ways. You got to give it up for him.
Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. And they double up Russell. Got a piece of it. Pass to Acy. Valentine grabs the board.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range. The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
Well, they continue to extend the lead. Terrific play on both ends of the court.
Russell with it. Now guarded by Dunn and stolen by Dunn. Here's the Magician, and the Bulls back on 2 more.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
The Nets have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvement, certainly. And Chris, you played during an era against a team that many consider the greatest of all time, that 96 Chicago Bulls team with Jordan and Pippen and a great roster. Just thinking back to that team during that second three-peat, what was it like when you were going up against that Bulls team?
It's so tough to play against that team. Jordan is arguably the best player that's ever, laced them up. And Pippen was so tough offensively and rebounding. Rodman as well on the boards. And then you had guys in a system that was, just really too much. It's hard to say. Of course, in my opinion, having played against them, they're the best team of all time. But Bill Russell once told me, ghosts can't play, so don't get caught up in comparing eras that you really can't prove it. So, yeah, of course, they're the best of all time to me, but it's fun watching these young kids play today.
The wide open look here for Lopez. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. 6 points for Brook Lopez.
And you love how Russell keeps his eyes up, rarely misses a guy when he's free.
They double him with Russell. And Brooklyn has possession. Poked away. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Oh, well, that's because it was terrific anticipation. Also, the quick hands, a lethal combination.
Bobby Portis is checked in for the Bulls. Justin Holiday comes in for Valentine. Here's the Magician, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
For Chicago, they have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
Now here's Lynn. And the Nets miss again. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the Bulls running away with it. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Fred Hoiberg in a recent huddle with his players.
Keep competing, guys. Keep competing. Hey, we made the extra pass all quarter.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Quincy Acies checked in for Allen. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson comes in for Dante Cunningham. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Allen Crabb. Chicago also making some changes. The Magician comes in for Bobby Portis. And Cameron Payne subbed in for Wells. Taking a look at the Bulls. The Magician out there with Vonleh. Then there's Grant. Then it's Payne. And it's Holiday in at the 3 slot. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Lynn. A putback. It's good on the putback.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Knocks it loose. Easy the pass to Lynn. To the paint. Okafor gets the bucket.
Well, those passes into the paint have to be precise, just like that one.
Here's the Magician. Takes the 3. He cans that one.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack mindset.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin.